Japan are going to respond. Sano. Through the left now. Tsumida! Blocked away by Deganek. Ryan was diving, Ohashi was lunging. Ultimately, Deganek stopped that becoming relevant by clearing away. Seko, Japan's halftime sub. Fujita. Suzuki. Hirakawa back to Fujita. Hirakawa. Away from Bajic. He got some separation on his marker and he wins a corner as a result. Burgess sending it behind. Take another look. He's shown absolutely no apprehension on his international debut, Yu Hirakawa. And now Suzuki, a candidate to be one of the best players on the pitch in the game to this point of the night, will take a corner kick. An outswinger, which is met by Chakati of Australia. Cleared as far as Hirakawa. Suzuki with the aid of a ricochet. Still Suzuki inside the penalty area now. Yazbek was able to clear. Lots of attacking intent being shown in these first 5 minutes of the second half from both teams. Hirakawa. Suzuki. Watanabe. Seko. Tsumida, the captain. Kamara. The underlapping run from Tsumida. He can't chase the ball down. It is enough to draw applause from his manager, Hajime Moriyasu. How many more substitutes and how early does he have them planned? Are they all going to be situational based on how the game continues to unfold in front of us? I imagine Tony Popovic's plans will all be situational. How desperately is he going to chase this game and try to swing the momentum? Fujita. Incisive pass. Suzuki nicked off his toes by McGree. And that was important from the Australian midfield to close ranks. Barello toiling without reward. Giving away a free kick here for his challenge on Fujita. Problem in midfield for Australia. Cry of anguish from Yazbek, and he bounces back to his feet. So once the referee wasn't interested, neither was he. He's pointing out the mark to the referee, who remains unconvinced by his protestations. Suzuki for Ohashi. Deganek leads him to the ball and leads the ball over the line for a goal kick. Tony Popovic making 2 half-time substitutions. Would he be happy with with what he's seen through 8 minutes so far. Ryan wide to the right side of Australia's midfield, where Lewis Miller was able to win a throw-in. As is Beige, trying to take the game on, but no real bearings on where his teammates were standing. He played that right to Sakine. Now has the ball at his feet. A pass from Watanabe that misses Seko. Tails out for an Australia throw. Australia have gone back into their defensive half as well. And now Japan are trying to press. Can Australia play through it? Yazbek, Metcalf, Chakati. Again, you see the enthusiasm of Suzuki to chase. Burgess calmly to Beige. There's no choice but to yield possession, though. Fujita. And Beige concedes a foul, much to his displeasure. So Japan will have a free kick. Australia did not commit a foul in that first half, so I imagine that things will return something to the norm. Fujita, Hirakawa. Seko. Sumita's pass couldn't continue the chain for Japan. McGree now, Borello. Riley McGree. This is Beige. Alessandro Chakati. High, hopeful ball. Borello nearly brought it down to his team's advantage. Metcalf, left by Seko. Sumita, and he is collected late by Lewis Miller. Both were swinging at the ball, but Miller got there a distant second. Providing their own entertainment in the form of a wave around the Perth Stadium. Japan with the long ball up the middle, perhaps trying to reverse the tactics on Australia. Use their own primary method of attack on them. Back to a goal Australia conceded in Adelaide against China in this World Cup qualifying group, which was Route 1, straight up the middle. Suzuki able to open out into space. Sano. Sumita doesn't want to take on Lewis Miller. Seko. Sano. Kamara. Now Seko switches flanks. Hirakawa, what a pass that is. Ohashi down in the corner though. Hirakawa nicked off his toes, but Japan's throw-in. Mitchell Duke warming up, plays his club football at Machida Zelvia in Japan. So perhaps he's the answer for Australia to try and find a goal. Comes on, he'll be expected to play as a battering ram centre forward. Seko's pass, Kamara, Sano. Fujita. We saw Hirakawa, and it nearly fell kindly for Sakine. Ryan is able to clear. Suzuki. Hirakawa, well, he skies that cross. Amazingly, you can put it down as a completed pass because it ended up at the feet of Seko. That, however, you cannot. That one runs out for a goal kick. So, almost at the hour mark, and if the changes at half-time did not satisfy, will we see more once the clock hits 60? Daichi Kamada giving off a calming vibe with that captain's armband. Australia have an attacking half throw-in, something to work with. Dennis Miller saying, we're going to go for a long throw, even from this distance, maybe get forward. And so Degenek, Burgess and Chakati are all going to run down into the box. Australia are going to treat this like an attacking set piece. A long throw from midfield. Miller's happy. Is this Australia's route to goal? Miller hurls it into the box. A flick header on and a comfortable catch for Kosei Tani. But Australia perhaps showing their hand about what might be coming if they win a throw in even about a third of the way up the pitch from their penalty area, never mind level with the box. Fujita. Ohashi from a tight angle. He wasn't afraid to shoot an even more acute angle in the first half, but he gets a similar result. See the incisive pass from Fujita, though. That's an excellent ball to send Ohashi through, but he had no thoughts of cutting it back to the middle. He had his head down and was thinking about trying to find a goal. Sakine. Hirakawa. Tony Popovic encouraging from the sideline. Now it's Japan owning the ball, as has been the case for so much of the game. Fujita eventually forced into a mistake. This has been a rarity from him tonight. Japan have a double substitution waiting in the wings, and at the hour mark perhaps they couldn't resist. Looking at a few more new faces and some familiar faces. There's Takefusa Kubo, one of their big stars. He's going to get subbed on there, the number 10. Nakamura, who himself has had a flying start to his international career with 8 goals in his first 16 caps. So this is going to raise the stakes quite considerably for Australia, as Japan have a couple of prolific scorers about to enter the game. This team, 11 out there at present, would love nothing more than to show that they could get the job done themselves as they build up here. Fujita, Sakine, Seko, Tabarat Sumida, jinks onto his right and then misplaces the pass. Yazbek, Miller, Lewis Miller. Well, he was running with nowhere to go. It was all blue shirts covering. He's punching the ground, such as the pain that he's had inflicted upon him by this foul from Tabarat Sumida, and you can see there a kick to the back of his right heel. That will have hurt. So the double change is coming, and it's the last act of Kota Tabarat Sumida's international debut. And also Kaishu Sano is coming off, and you can hear the Japan fans are making a bit more noise because Takefusa Kubo of Real Sociedad is coming on. He's going to be joined by Keito Nakamura of REM Edu Nakamura scored in both of Reims' matches against Paris Saint-Germain in Ligue 1 this season, so he netted twice against the champions of Europe. He brings exceptional form out onto the pitch here in this AFC Asian qualifier. Kubo's own performances in La Liga have been exceptional for the last couple of seasons as well. So how much more different and dangerous will Japan look as a result? Hirakawa, here's Kubo. First involvement in the game, and Bajic is guarding him closely. It's going to run down to the line. Will it have enough juice to find a way out? It will. Exhale for Australia. The notebook continues to have scrawls written in it. Bit of byplay, and Seko has been fouled by Metcalf. So what does Tony Popovic have planned on the Australia sideline? Will there be responsive substitutions as a result of Japan having now made a very attacking double change? Sakina. Kamara. Sakine. Controlled by Ohashi. Hirakawa, look at Kubo moving between the lines so elegantly. It's Kubo, the cutback. Cleared away by Metcalf. Australia had to get numbers into the penalty box though. Japan looking more menacing immediately. Kamara. Tanabe. I feel like these are big minutes here for Australia to withstand this initial burst off the bench from the new Japan faces. Nakamura gets his first touch. Now Suzuki. Watanabe, look at the confidence of the centre-backs, drifting further and further forward, compressing the game even more. Kubo. Saw a run to the edge of the box. Suzuki, Kubo! And Ohashi got his body position wrong in the middle. It mattered not, he would have been offside regardless. It's a taste of what the last 25 minutes or so of this game is going to look like. Australia are going to bring on Mitch Duke. And it's going to be Jason Guerrier, who also plies his trade in Japan at Albirex Niigata. So the double sub isn't happening, or is it happening? Japan want to take the goal kick. Australia want to make the double change. The subs are going to go through. Brandon Borello and Lewis Miller are the two players making way. So how different will Australia now look as Miller makes way for Guerrier and Mitch Duke comes on to lead the attack. Miller, grass stains on his head, gets his congratulations from the bench, and a tough night for Brandon Borello comes to an end as well. Mitch Duke hasn't scored for Australia for some time now. January 2024, a friendly against Bahrain. No concerns here for Japan. Watanabe has taken a seat. Is this going to be his final? The qualifier against Indonesia similar to this one, will be considered not a completely dead rubber. Indonesia might still have something to play for. Changes are going to go through here. Tsuyoshi Watanabe makes way, as does Yuki Ohashi, who's not been able to find his first international goal tonight. And so the players coming on: Shudo Machino and also Kota Takai. Third cap for Takai and a 7th cap for Machino.